to stop being the problem that anytime something goes wrong, it's always placed at my feet, whether it's my fault or whether I had anything to do with it or not. When does Kyrie Irving realize, as intelligent that I believe that he is, as sharp as I believe that he is always going to continue to be, being very worldly, when does he realize there is a bubble outside of your world that you have to be a part of to make things work, not just from an individual standpoint, but from a collective standpoint? And you can't think that LeBron James has to be that guy. If Kevin Durant can't do it or doesn't want to do it in Brooklyn, why are you going to go back to the first marriage and think that that's going to work around for Kyrie Irving in a different location?
Well, apparently they're BFFs again. You know, they've solved all their problems and their marital issues, and they can create.
They had a good counselor, good mediator. They didn't have to separate the kids and the dog and nothing like that.
I just feel like LeBron's not going to put up with it in the ways that kind of feels like Kevin Durant's given him a pass. And you know, at every step of the way, when he's getting questions about Kyrie, he's defending him publicly. And I feel like LeBron, on the other hand, you know, this is somebody who feels pressure to get back to the postseason. The Lakers and the Nets were the preseason favorites to win, to go to the NBA Finals this past season. Lakers didn't even get to the playoffs. The other team got bounced, embarrassingly, in 4 games by the Boston Celtics. So I feel like LeBron's probably looking at this, maybe swallowing a little bit of his pride, but he doesn't really have to. He can kind of muscle up here and say, all right, Kyrie, like, bygones are bygones. We can put the past behind us. But if you're coming here, you're walking into something that's already built, albeit there's a lot of things that need to change, I think, with that Lakers roster. LeBron's still in charge out there. The only way, you know, I'm sure the Lakers probably saw this last week when he puts out his list of 6 teams and are thinking to themselves, oh no, GM LeBron again. I don't want to see this again. Because of what happened with Westbrook last year and how miserably that experiment panned out. So unless they're willing to give, you know, him effectively a second chance here, I'm not so sure that they're going to want to take on what could be that circus as everybody else has seen it with Kyrie Irving. I mean, everybody in the NBA knows what's going down not too far from here in New York. So if there's anybody who can make it work, it's LeBron. We'll see if that happens, though, because I'm just not so sure the Lakers want to buy into that.
Something just occurred to me, what you just said. And we always talk about life lessons. And if you forget the past, you're doomed to repeat it. To paraphrase that line, if I'm LeBron James, I'm not going back to the past. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to wish Kyrie Irving well and say, man, maybe in another lifetime, maybe the world ends and we have a new NBA, we might think about doing that. But sometimes it's best to let the past stay there. Sometimes it's best to say, yeah, that was what we had. Yeah, we fixed things in terms of friendship, BFF, acquaintance, associate, whatever that is. But sometimes it's good to be, Christine, you're right. Sometimes you can be frenemies, but that doesn't mean you can be frenemies together.
Want you to eat, just not at my table.
Absolutely.
Right?
You know, hey, you like that restaurant? I like this one. You have yours. Sometimes it's good to say, you know what, Kyrie? I'm not going to revisit that and think that we can make this work a second time because we're more mature, we're older, we clearly understand. If I'm LeBron James, that's not a road I want to go down to think that maybe this time around, Kyrie has learned this lesson, because there are no guarantees of that at all.
Well, if it's not Kyrie, we obviously know that LeBron does need help, though. Right. That free agency this year becomes ultra important for LeBron at this phase of his career in getting some more help around him and some scoring.
Well, good luck with that, the salary cap. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team that is in a really tough situation.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.